Thanks. And after recent flooding, some roads are still closed to drivers.
News 18's Krista Henry joins us with more about what emergency crews are warning drivers about out on the roads. Krista.
Well, Jeff and Gina, North River Road is still closed to drivers. However, water levels have dropped significantly. But even as roadways start to dry up, emergency crews remind drivers to avoid any flooded areas in order to avoid calling 911.
And this was just all water as far as you could see.
82-year-old John Vandra lives off of North River Road in West Lafayette. He says especially where he lives, when it rains, he says it pours. But when his front yard floods, he's never surprised.
We came here in 1957 and that the wabbers would come out of the bank about maybe twice a year.
But what did surprise him this past round of flooding was what he spotted floating by in high waters just in front of his home.
This pickup truck came from the south and he got stuck down here.
Vandra says after several attempts to help save the motorist, he found something in his yard to help make the rescue a success.
That's what we used to get him out.
This would be the first thing we do before we put a boat in.
But rescue crews say situations like those can be avoided if motorists just avoid flooded roads. Lafayette Fire Captain Tim Franskowiak says the most common factor cars get stranded is because motorists underestimate the depth of water.
Water is deceiving. Normally the water is darker in color. You can't tell how deep it actually is. People try to transverse moving water. Their cars can get swept away or overcome. Their engines can drown out. And it just is not a good practice to try to drive through any water whatsoever. You don't know what the road conditions are underneath.
However, Franskowiak says if you do find yourself stranded in your vehicle in water, it's important to stay with your car.
If you have to exit it because the water's coming over the window well, exit through your windows or your doors, stay on top of the vehicle if you can. Get all patrons, children, etc. out. They may need assistance. They're going to be scared and nervous.
Warn the people not to do that because they can get in trouble, you know.
Franskowiak says emergency crews train specifically on how to properly rescue someone from floodwaters. He says they were just called out during the weekend to rescue 4 people from the Wabash River after they were canoeing. Krista Henry, News 18.